20 lakh rupees wedding, 2 days of glory or years of pressure? It was 12 o'clock at night. The wedding pandal was now emptying out, and in the hall where music, lights and the voices of relatives were echoing just a few hours ago, now only plastic chairs and leftover flowers were lying around. The groom and bride reached their room exhausted. The family breathed a sigh of relief, and outside the caterer was packing up his stuff. But on that very night, another thing was quietly waking up: the wedding bill. The next morning, the guests returned to their homes, relatives got busy planning the next wedding, and photos started arriving on WhatsApp. But in the bank account of the family that had hosted this celebration, there was a strange silence. The question was not whether the wedding was beautiful or not. The question was whether several years of financial peace should be put at stake for 2 days of beauty. Right from here, an Instagram post by Bengaluru-based 𝐮𝐸𝐚𝐿 sparked a debate. Her message was straightforward: do not have a 20 lakh rupees wedding just to impress relatives. 𝐮𝐸𝐚𝐿, who has worked in companies like KPMG and Deloitte, tried to look at the wedding budget through a financial lens rather than an emotional one. She said that 20 lakh rupees sounds like a big number, but in an Indian wedding, this money breaks down into different places very quickly. Around 6 lakh rupees goes into catering, 5 lakh rupees into the venue, 3 lakh rupees into decoration, 2 lakh rupees into photography, 2 lakh rupees into entertainment, and 2 lakh rupees into miscellaneous expenses. On paper, this just looks like a budget breakup, but in real life it becomes a father's savings, a mother's jewelry, the couple's future planning, and many times the loan's EMI. As the wedding day approaches, a strange pressure builds up inside the family. Someone says the hall should be nice, someone says the food should be memorable, someone says the entry should be grand. And gradually the wedding becomes less about the relationship of two people and more of a performance in front of the entire society. But who holds the most expensive ticket to this performance? 𝐮𝐸𝐚𝐿 wrote in her post that the venue is returned in 48 hours, the food finishes, the decoration comes down and the guests move on to the next wedding. But one thing stays behind at home: the financial impact. This very line stung people, because this is something many families quietly feel, but do not speak out loud. In Indian weddings, emotions are very deep. For parents, the son's or daughter's wedding is not just an event, it is a life's dream. Therefore, when someone says, do not spend so much on a wedding, many people feel that someone is weighing their feelings in money. But 𝐮𝐸𝐚𝐿's point was not against weddings. Her point was against that show-off, where comparison replaces celebration. A family thinks, last month Sharma-ji organized such a big function, what will people say if we do a small one? And this very question slowly eats away at the budget. What will people say is India's most expensive sentence. This single sentence has weakened many household savings, many children's education funds, and many parents' retirement planning. In a wedding, first the guest list grows. Then the menu grows. Then the decoration gets upgraded. Then the photographer sells a cinematic package. And then suddenly the budget that started from 8 lakh rupees reaches 15 lakh rupees, 18 lakh rupees, and then 20 lakh rupees. But the real shock comes after the event. Because life does not stop after the wedding. Rent, EMIs, health expenses, planning for future children, setting up the home, honeymoon, job uncertainty, all stand right at that door. This is the very point where the shine of a grand wedding slowly turns into the harsh light of practical life. On one side, there are wedding reels on social media where every entry looks royal. On the other side is real life, where at the end of the month the account balance speaks the truth. Now look at the pattern interrupt. The people who comment the most at a wedding usually do not bear the expenses. They will eat the food and leave, send hearts on photos, praise for 2 days, and then get busy with their own lives. But for the family that makes the payment, it is not just a memory but a financial transaction as well. And the transaction's receipt does not erase with emotions. 𝐮𝐸𝐚𝐿's point felt right to many people, because middle-class families often spend years of accumulated money on a wedding in just a single weekend. If not all, then some part of this money could have been put into goals like a home down payment, emergency fund, long-term investment, or children's education. Suppose even 10 lakh rupees out of 20 lakh rupees went into a long-term investment and compounded for 15 to 20 years, that same money could have become a huge security in the future. This is not a matter of guaranteed returns, but a way of thinking. Because every rupee has an opportunity cost. Opportunity cost means what you spent on one thing, that money could not go into another necessary thing. If 2 lakh rupees was spent on a DJ at the wedding, then those same 2 lakh rupees did not become an emergency medical fund. If 3 lakh rupees went into decoration, those same 3 lakh rupees did not become a future SIP. This might sound boring, but the most painful things in life often come from a lack of boring planning. After this post on social media, people split into two sides. Some said, rightly said, taking a loan in the name of a wedding is not wise. Some people said, a wedding happens once in a lifetime, parents' emotions are attached, so expenses should not be viewed through a calculator alone. And truth be told, there is a bit of truth on both sides. Because a wedding is not just finance, but also a part of culture, family pride, and memories. But the problem starts when making memories slowly turns into showing off to people. A simple wedding can also be emotional. And an expensive wedding can also feel empty if there is only display and no connection in it. Here lies the biggest hidden truth. The Indian wedding industry runs not just on needs but on aspirations. The venue owner shows you a better package, the decorator upgrades the theme, the photographer adds a drone shot, the makeup artist tells you about a premium slot. Every vendor is doing their job. There is nothing wrong in this. But the family has to understand that every upgrade is not necessary. Because for the vendor your wedding is a business, but for you it is a life decision. The priorities of both are different. In India, the wedding market is very huge. GRT estimated around 46 lakh weddings and 6.5 lakh rupees crore of business in the 2025 wedding season. This means that a wedding is not just a personal event, but a massive economy as well. Jewelry, clothes, hotels, travel, photography, catering, makeup, and event management are all connected to it. Lakhs of people get work from this economy, and this is the positive side. But amidst this, the pressure of social spending on families also grows. Today, more people than before want to show their wedding as unique. Every function gets a hashtag, every outfit gets a theme, every ritual gets a cinematic reel made. And when a memory starts being designed for the camera, real emotion often gets lost in the production cost. 𝐮𝐻𝐿 post hits right at this spot. She says, celebrate the wedding but do it within your capacity. Because if the beginning of a marriage starts with financial pressure, then love too slowly gets tired in the sound of daily expenses. A new couple already has a lot in front of them. Setting up a home, stabilizing careers, balancing two families, and merging their habits. If loan, guilt, and expense pressure get added right at this beginning, then the honeymoon phase 2 can become a spreadsheet. Now imagine a father who broke a fixed deposit for his daughter's wedding. The function was grand, everyone praised it. But a few months later, that same father delays his health checkup because savings have reduced. This is the very silent cost that does not show in the wedding video. A mother who had said, "My daughter's wedding should be memorable," later compromises on her retirement comfort. A couple who thought, "Everyone will be happy," later starts stressing over small things amidst rent, furniture, and EMIs. Meaning the real cost of a wedding is not just in that day's bill file. It is scattered across the small decisions of the coming months. But this does not mean that every big wedding is wrong. If a family is financially comfortable, not taking debt, and goals are secure, then spending is their choice. The problem is not 20 lakh rupees. The problem is that 20 lakh rupees which is spent solely due to comparison, pressure, and show-off. If a family consciously decides that we want a big celebration and our finances are strong, then it is their personal decision. But if a family is spending thinking that relatives shouldn't judge, then the matter becomes dangerous. Because relatives' memory is short, but loan tenure is long. After the wedding, those same relatives might remember one deficiency in the menu, but no one will come to pay your EMI. This very line is uncomfortable, but perhaps necessary as well. Because many times families mistake emotional blackmail for tradition. Instead of, "What will people say?" if the question is, "How will our life be after our wedding?" then the whole budget can change. The real planning card of a wedding should not just be the guest list. Savings, emergency funds, and future goals should also be in it. If 20 lakh rupees is the budget, it can be asked, how much money will go into the function, how much into home setup, how much into investment, and how much into backup? This conversation will feel awkward. But this very awkward conversation can save many painful conversations later. 𝐮𝐻𝐿's post made an impact because she stated a common middle-class truth in clear words. Many of us know that wedding expenses are rising, but no one wants to say in front of relatives that we cannot afford this much. In society, affordability is often turned into an embarrassment, as if having a wedding within budget is a weakness. Whereas the truth is the opposite. Recognizing one's capacity is maturity, and avoiding show-off is financial courage. The beauty of a wedding comes not from the number of flowers, but from the clarity of the relationship. And clarity comes when both families can speak the truth. Starting life with debt just to impress someone is perhaps the most unnecessary complication in a love story. In today's time, a smart wedding does not mean a cheap wedding. A smart wedding means an intentional wedding, where the food is good but not wasted. Photos are taken but the future is not sold. Guests come but the couple's peace is not lost. Where parents' happiness remains intact and their retirement stays safe too. Where tradition survives and financial sense too. Because real life starts after the wedding. That very life in which two people build a home amidst bills, dreams, conflicts, responsibilities and small joys. If the foundation of that home is built on borrowed prestige, the walls will shake quickly. If the foundation is on financial honesty, the relationship will be able to breathe. This is the biggest insight of this entire debate. A wedding should be memorable but its cost should not be so high that the upcoming life becomes burdensome. Relatives will indeed eat the paneer and leave. Some will praise, some will find faults, and some will repeat these same things at the next wedding. But who will stay with you? Your partner, your family, your bank balance, your peace, and the impact of your decisions. Therefore, the question is not whether the wedding is big or small. The question is whether your life after the wedding will be light or heavy. If a celebration shines for 2 days and gives stress for the next 5 years, then perhaps it needs to be thought through again. And if a simple wedding gives the couple a debt-free, peaceful and confident start, then perhaps that is the real luxury. Because life's most expensive decoration is not the one placed on stage. The most expensive thing is that peace which remains in the house after the wedding. In the end, 𝐮𝐻𝐿 post does not talk merely about 20 lakh rupees. She asks a deep question: are we building a marriage or just displaying a wedding? When every family asks this question honestly in their drawing room, then perhaps the shine of Indian weddings will not diminish, their burden will just become a little lighter.
If this video has taught you something new, or if you feel this information should reach more people, don't forget to like and share the video. Your small share can become valuable and useful information for someone else. If you have any questions related to this topic, or if you would like to share your opinion with us, be sure to write in the comment box. We read every question and suggestion from you, because your feedback inspires us to create better content. And if you want to keep receiving such interesting and reliable information about business, the economy, and the world in the future, then don't forget to subscribe to our channel GRT Business and also press the bell icon so that you get notifications of every new video directly. At GRT Business, we always strive to provide you with accurate, balanced, and reliable information. Our news and analysis are prepared based on information obtained from various news agencies, public sources, and public opinion. We make every effort to verify and validate each fact as much as possible, but in case of any possible error or dispute, the responsibility lies with the respective sources. Our only aim is to present you with a correct and trustworthy perspective so that you can understand any topic better.